Hey, what's going on, Mecha Army? It is Thursday. We're back. Good stream last night. If you missed it, we did some strapping technique. Showed that on the main part of the backpack. That came out really, really well. Stayed last night a little bit. Cleaned up the other side and tidied everything up. And that all looks really, really good. So we're going to continue working on the main backpack today. But, real quick, let me see if I can move out of the way. Yeah, right here, right here is the beginnings of the purge. So, actually, let me take you on a field trip here. So let's go camera 3 and let's get this let's get to showing you here real quick. Oh yeah, baby. Ultra wide. Let's see. So all together there's, I'm guessing, probably 40-ish kits here, and they range from all sorts of types of things. You got your high resolution model Gundam Ashtray Noir, some SDs, some Gundam based limiteds, mega size 1/60th no grades, the old 1/100 Gundam wings. We got some OG G system resin here for you. Got some other master grades, some frame arms. Look at this, initial D. All sorts of fun stuff in here. Even, back there's a Devastator Transformers kit from, what is that, Hot Toys or whatever. But, yeah, man, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to post. And I just need to comp these and get, reasonable prices. I'm not trying to be a scalper or anything like that. So I, want to be fair on the pricing. So, I want to look it up. So, yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's what we got. So expect that next week. Like I said, I originally wanted to have a drop tomorrow with some new shirts and things like that. We're gonna postpone that. We're gonna put that in a timeout, and we're gonna just do a massive drop next week with those new shirts and things like that, and then also the kits and whatever else I can find in here too. I actually found some, and most of you guys probably won't even know what these are, but I found very, very old, from a company called Hyaku Hobby. To my knowledge, Hyaku Hobby did the very first ever plastic conversion kit for Bandai models. And what it was a powered GM conversion kit, but in plastic, for the Master Grade GM Type C. Pretty decent altogether. Yeah, I bought five or six of them back in the day, and I think I only used one. So, yeah, there's going to be 4 of those. 4 or 5 of those up for sale. So that's, you just don't see those ever. So those might be a little bit on the more expensive side. But yeah, I need to purge this down. I've gotten so much over the past 5-6 years just from people getting out of the hobby, and me inheriting things and stuff like that, and then, you know, buying things of, you know, from people getting out of the hobby. I also have a huge backlog of old school Hobby Japans, and also the ones that came with the old Titans Test Team models, the smaller ones that came in the magazine. I have a bunch of those that I'm gonna put up, so that's coming. And then I think I have a few with the pin, the Titans Test Team pin as well. I think I have some of those. But I also have some other books and stuff that I had repeats on. So all of those are going to go up. I also have some DVDs that I got to find that are unopened, that I need to get posted and everything. So, yeah, all of that is going to go up. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. So, all right. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. I know Bill had commented a couple times before I opened up the universal chat, so unfortunately I can't show his comments, but he says, howdy y'all. Hope everyone is good. Do we start on the torso today? He says, I think that is the last place to work on now. We still have a little bit to go on the main part of the backpack, but we are getting there. And then, it's just the chest and torso at that point. So we're coming down to it. And then I think I do want to do a base for this guy. And I have some ideas in mind of what that's going to look like. It's not going to be anything grandiose, you know. Nothing like the Hummingbird or Airdrop or anything like that, but it will be a nice showpiece. I want this to be displayed, and I want, you know, the person receiving it to be proud to show it off. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I think we're going to do a base as well, but that shouldn't take too much time. But that'll be fun. I'll be able to show you guys kind of how I do bases and things, because, you know, it's all about that base. Anyway, Gio's with us. He says, hello, everyone. Gio, how are you, buddy? Bill said, Master Grade Marasai. Yes, I have one of those in there. Kelvin, whoops. What's going on with the damn thing? Kelvin says, hello to ya. What? You're looking for a long, drawn-out rant? A funny or two from me? Today, that's not me. Just a short hello to you, and I think the world of you. Just hello. Okay, so hello, Mecha Army. Kelvin, I fucking love you, buddy. I really do. He says, oh crap, that was long. Sorry, maybe. It's good. That is good. Master Grade 00 Riser. That, yes, is the... what is it? Yeah, so I have the 00 Riser, and then I have the Trans Am clear Gundam base version of that, or of not of the riser, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I got that at GBWC in 2019. Yeah, I actually, and I regret it because I had the Psycho Gundam, or not Psycho Gundam, the Psycho Zaku from Thunderbolt. I had won that in the the giveaway that they have there, because it was Christmas and they give lots of you know, model kits to, you know, all the contestants. And I had, oh God, what did I have originally? I had the Psycho Zaku, and then I also had, God, I want to say it was an Epion, Master Grade Epion at that point, but they were too big to bring back, so I had to, you know, so the morning after, everybody was doing like horse trading and everything, and just, you know, basically, oh, I'll give you this if you give me that, blah blah blah, you know. So yeah, there was a lot of that. So I had to give those up because I just couldn't bring them back. I didn't have room for them in my suitcase, or I couldn't carry them on or anything like that. So yeah, kind of regret that, but you know, water under the bridge. Almanacs, Mr. Peter, how are you, buddy? He says, a massive drop? Sounds like the consequences of Taco Bell Tuesday. Hey-oh. I did not eat that lettuce. I did not eat that lettuce. No, sir. Aiko hobby stuff. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's back in the day. That's early mid 2000s. Like, those things are 20 plus years old. Easy. I think Aiko made those in like 2005, something like that. And he was a member of my message board at the time. You know, I was friends with him and talked to him a bunch and everything. And he did some, you know, he asked a bunch of people, you know, what do you think? You know, and we were like, yeah, dude, if you can do it. So he had to do them in a short run, and it cost him evidently a ton of money, and he didn't see a return on it. So that was it. Peter says, greetings, Timmy and company. Pete, how are you, buddy? Bill says, Tim, maybe try including some tools you don't use. Used tools might be useful for people on a budget and could generate some income rather than taking up space. That's a good call. I'll have to see if I have anything of that sort, because I don't know if I have a lot of tools that I, you know, don't use or don't need at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah, if anything, I mean, it would be onesie twosies, and honestly, it probably wouldn't be worth all that much to sell them off, you know? I have that RP Tools cutter. I could probably let that go. Because that was... Funny story on that one. You guys are going to love this. That actually came from the dreaded company that shall not be named. Now, mind you, this was before the scumbag took over and just shit on the whole kit and caboodle and made it a crap company. They wanted me to do a review on it, and I'm like, all right, what's your expectations? Are we talking video? Are we talking photo, post, what? And they were just like, oh no, just tell us what you think. All right, cool. So I took it from them and I told them what I thought about it, and that was it. So, shit, I can get some money from them. That'll be sweet. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that's, you know what? Just out of pure goddamn spite. Yeah, just out of pure spite alone. I mean, because it's intact. Yeah, all right. That's going in a pile. Bloop. I am a petty bitch. Oh, man. Anyway, Bill says motion blur to showcase the speed aspect. I actually had that thought because I really... everybody, you know, ranted and raved over the kind of vertigo, photo of the base for airdrop. So I was thinking about some motion blur background. But I have to see, with my idea, I got to see how I can pull that off. So that'll come later. That'll come later. Let's see. Bill says, yeah, I found a tub with a Psycho Zaku, Deep Striker, and Rizel Defensor. A tub? What? Bill says I might have to part with them. Oh shit. The Deep Striker, that's going to get you a few hundred right there. Easy. Shit. Now that I'm curious, because I have a Deep Striker too, but I don't know if I want to let it go. You know what I mean? Let's see. What is the Deep Striker actually going for right now? Just a quick eBay search just for comps there. Oh shit. Damn. Bottom price is $322 with $35 delivery. There's $332 free delivery, but most of these are over 4 bills. Most of these are over 4 bills. Jesus. Man, that's wild. He says, yeah, all my minis and models are in storage tubs. Oh, I got you. Like the black and yellow, those types of like bins. I got a ton of those myself. I love them. He says, if I sell them, it will be 10% off USAG's prices. Respect. Derry's with us. She says, hey, Tim. Howdy, Derry. Good to see you. All right, so yeah, cool. Good deal. Bill says, I'm not looking to take advantage of anyone, just if I need to part with them, I want it to go to a good home. Oh, yeah, 100%. And I'm kind of thinking along those lines. Obviously I need a little money here, so I need to, be mindful of that. So, especially with the out of print ones. And then of course the resin, those may fetch a bit of price. Peter says, how do you balance TMI versus FYI regarding DIY, like from TLDR to H and such BS? Because, to be honest, I don't care. Just fit in all the acronyms there, Peter. Just fit them all in. Nice. All right, good stuff. Anyway, let's get busy. Yeah. So, strap the eyes on here. Let's get everything sorted in camera 2. Here we go. All right. So, here's kind of what we got done yesterday, or last night, I should say. We got these guys installed, the backpack nipples, if you will. So we got those installed. We've got the straps, laid down on here. Those are looking good. Those are all cleaned up, outline scribed, everything. Looking really good. So very, very happy with that. I even went back and let's see if you can see it here. Right up here, beveled, or maybe the back one here, beveled this edge right here, this top edge, And so that looks really quite nice. It blends in a little bit better with that. So, so today, what I think we're gonna try and do, obviously I removed the hoses here. Still need to tackle this gaping opening here where those hooks were. And then also I want to cover up these pre-molded kind of voids there, you know, because that's what all of this plating was here. So we're going to do the same type of thing there for that. Not exactly sure how we're going to tackle that, but we'll come up with something. You know, definitely some 1/2 millimeter sheet, something like that, something along those lines. Now, real quick, I forgot to say, one of the, whoa, brain fart. Jesus, yeah, I was started talking and then I just lost it. Has that ever happened to you? Is that early on Alzheimer's? Could be. It could very well be early onset Alzheimer's. I don't know. Anyway, no, what I was going to say is I just put out a new part of the Super Secret project for members and stuff. So if you're a member, go take a look at it. It's looking really, really nice. And I think we're moving into the next phase of that Super Secret project. So I'm pretty jazzed about it. So, anywho, back from the brain fart. Let's go. So, first things first, I think we tackle the top here. And let's pop that guy off here. And yeah, see those pre-molded voids there? I don't like those. I don't like those at all. So we're gonna cover those up. That's 3/4. I don't want 3/4 on there. This is 1/2. Yeah. Is that too wide? That's too wide. I don't want that. Or is it not wide enough? No. I think we need to go 4.8. Yeah, I think this right here. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Yep. All right, cool. So, let's get some shaping done on this guy here. Square the end. Now, what I think I want to do, especially near this part here, because this front part where it holds the hose and everything, that is all already outline scribed and all. So I don't want the cover that we're going to install here to run into that at all. I want that to be completely separate. So what I think we're gonna do, there we go, we're gonna bevel the corners on that. So I've got 1/4 millimeter. Nope, that's too thick for that. There we go, this will work. I got 1/4 millimeter strip, and we're gonna use that as our guide here. Lock that into place, get that over there, and now get our 45 in here, lock that into place, and then boom, boom, and then there you go. You got your beveled corners. Looks really good. Now, let's see what kind of length we need here. Oh yeah, that looks really good right there, because that's almost the same. That's damn near the same width and everything as the piece. you know, this section right here. That's actually really, really good. All right. So I want to have these separated here. I think what we'll do, where's the pencil? There it is, over here. I wasn't looking in the right area. I think maybe right about there will be good. Let's see. Get all that off of there. All right, now I'm gonna put a little curve in this because it curves over this piece. So just roll this back and forth on this handle, and there you go. We have it. We have a curve set into this thing. Now, let's see what this will look like here. Yeah. That I think is going to be money. Let's 100% though make sure we're not going to have any collisions. Nope, that's going to look good. Okay, cool. All right, I'm happy with that. Now then, we need to duplicate this, so we need to kind of flatten this out a little bit and take some measurements. Once we get these two pieces duplicated, then I will get caught up with the chat, because I know there's a few messages. Alright, so first things first, let me square that end. I'll just go ahead and square that in too, just to be on the safe side. And then where'd that quarter mil go? Right there. Get our stop in there. Lock that into place. 45 back in there. Let's cut some corners. Literally. Boom. All right. And there we go again. All right. Jolly good. Now, let's get that out of the way. Actually, nope. We're going to bring that back in, because I want to cut the corners off of this as well. Right there. Try to flatten this out a little bit more here. Boom, right there. All right, so now we have a nice little octagonal bit there. Very nice. So let's cut this to length here. And we're going to cut the corners in this guy here. Boom. All right. Very good. So now let's get caught up a little bit in the chat. In the chat. Oh man, let's see. Top Todd's with us. He says, hello, Tim. Hello, all. How is everyone? Got a surprise to show you, Tim. Uh-oh. What do we have? Todd sent a photo. Let's see what Todd sent. Let's see. Oh, he got his real grades. Very nice. Todd got his real grades. Look at that. You know, the question of the day last night was, what box art would you want to frame and hang on your wall? And looking at the real grade box art, man, they are sexy, aren't they? That double, double exposure type of thing, just, that is pretty. Those are pretty box arts, man. Very, very nice. Todd, enjoy them, man. Enjoy them. Those are pretty damn cool. Let's see here. Bill says, oh, nice, Todd. How am I? Pinched a nerve in my lower back, causing me pain in my right leg unless I just sit right. Oh, damn, Bill. Sorry about that. Peter says, in plain English, how do you decide on the detail level when explaining how to do a task? That's an interesting question, Peter. That's actually a really interesting question. Well, that deserves one of these. So let's talk this through. So he says again, in plain English, how do you decide on the detail level when explaining how to do a task? So for me, in terms of a how-to, tutorial or demonstration or what have you, I want to try and take into consideration any points that could be potential hang-ups, right? That somebody could get caught on without really good explanation. Obviously, you want to go through the basic steps. That's, I think, self-explanatory. But in terms of extra information, I always try to think about, if I was a beginner, if I was somebody that is watching me and wanting to learn a process, a technique, just a little something, right? I would obviously want to know the step-by-step. Again, pretty self-explanatory. But I would also want to know, because when I'm learning something, I want to know these things. I want to know the common tripping points, right? Or the things that nobody else teaches you or talks about, right? For instance, when I'm scribing, and I've said this a bunch of times before, but when I'm scribing, I actually even talk about hand placement and finger placement and things like that on how to properly hold a chisel, because I never see that being talked about. And when I see people scribing in videos or tutorials or something like that, I always see them holding it wrong. And the reason why I say that is because I hear in the video how the chisel skips over the plastic. It goes, like it's skipping. It's, and stuttering and stair-stepping and all of that. So just, like I said, just holding the chisel in the proper way will help you avoid probably 75% of that. And that's something that nobody else talks about, or at least I've never seen anybody talk about it, right? So in conclusion, and to answer your question, yeah, I mean, I want to know the basics, I want to know the steps, but I also want to know what are those unsaid things that nobody talks about. You know what I mean? That's the point where I try to go above and beyond. Yeah. Really good question, dude. Really freaking good question. Goosum N6 is over there on Twitch. They say hi. What's going on? Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Let's see. Bill says to Peter, you have to customize your teaching to your audience at the time. So during his live streams, it's based on our feedback. Standalone videos, you base it around skill level of people who are just starting out in customizing kits, but now wholly new to model building, unless it is a very basic skill you're teaching, which is specifically targeting people who have never built anything before. Yeah, pretty good conclusion, I think. Pretty good conclusion. Mind you, like even with the live streams and the chat and you guys in here being, I would imagine slightly more advanced. I still want to make sure that I explain it in a way to where, maybe if somebody tunes in or rewatches one of these live streams and they're, flat out beginners, that they still understand the premise and they still understand the technique. Even though they may not necessarily be to that skill level yet, they could be in the future. They could be. And if they learn the right way, and, if I am able to assist them in their journey in this hobby, then that makes it worth it, Yeah, I mean, I try also to kind of, make it simple enough for beginners to understand as well. I try at least, I try. Gio says that company that should not be named, they just hired some doofus to do content for them. Oh God, seriously? Because their content was shit before. Like a lot of snafus and faux pas. Yeah. Hopefully they do a good job. Ay. Bill says, Gio, are you talking about the other Tim? Oh no, new type, not dipshit Tim, but new type. Yeah. Peter says, I have a tendency to over-explain or go into too much detail. I've been told I find Timmy's good at going into necessary details while keeping it basic, so I was curious for tips. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, and I have, and Peter, don't get me wrong, I have the exact same tendency. And I find myself repeating things. And I don't know why, honestly. Maybe it's to hear myself talk. Maybe it's to try and reiterate a point. I don't know. But I do have that tendency as well, to go into too much detail and repeat things and all that shit. It's something that you kind of do have to train yourself down on. It's tough. It is tough. Yeah. He says, I just had to try and do it in a fun alternate way to keep it fresh. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like when you... I feel weird saying this, but when you are an SME, a subject matter expert, and that's a common term in business, an SME, right? When you're a subject matter expert, and you know your shit backwards and forwards, night and day, left and right, up and down, all which ways but loose. You do have a tendency to kind of lose yourself in the details, right? And for a layman, that's like drinking from a fire hydrant. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's so much to take in. So we, as SMEs, excuse me, have to train ourselves to bring it down and try to especially eliminate the jargon. That's the one big thing that I have seen a lot of, right? The jargon kills people. If they don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about, it's gonna go in one ear and out the other, right? There's a guy. Fuck, I'm not gonna find it because I don't remember his name. But there's a guy that I follow on Instagram and on YouTube, and he's a public speaker and he teaches public speaking. And I find it very, very useful. Some of his techniques and ideas and things like that, in coming on here and doing the live streams. And basically his main thing is to try to eliminate the jargon, try to eliminate the ums, ah, ooh, ah, and I'm bad at that. I'm really bad at that. Fuck me. I just said that. And he also said, his main thing is to slow down your cadence, right? Slow it down to where it's not restrictive for someone to ask a question, right? Because if you're just going a mile a minute and just machine gunning them with information, they're going to get overloaded and not even know what to ask, much less have the courage to interrupt you and ask the question. So that's a big part of it too. Slow down. It works really, really well. Works really well. So, but again, I still find myself going back to old habits a lot of times, like with that So it's a process, and you do have to train yourself down a little bit. So it takes work. It takes work. Let's see. Bill says, cool. Yeah, teaching is a skill set of its own. Yeah, and knowing how to tailor that teaching to your audience differentiates the good teachers from the rest. Yeah. Yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. I can't not do that. Fuck my life. Anyway. Yeah, the people that I see, most of them doing tutorials and things like that are terrible at that. Are god awful. So that's one of the things that I try to do, is to teach in a way that is not only useful for the user, but also that they can retain the information and just benefit from the 25 plus years of knowledge that I have packed in my noggin. That's really what it's all about. It really is. That's as simple as it can be. So Brian's with us, Mr. Lelouch. He says, I made it. Yay. Brian says, hello, wise ones. Hello, Padawan. Andrew says, afternoon all. What's going on, Andrew? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Bill says, so you can learn a lot from watching and listening to them on how they do things, at least in my opinion. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gio says, some Asian guy, he's been popping up on my feed. He asks people questions and give them the cheapest RX-78. Whoa, okay. Hey, Brian, he has a question.
We have a question.
He says, have you done a MSV Sea Serpent Squadron print for the hoodies and shirts? I have not done that yet, Brian. That's actually on the to-do list. Let me see something here. Sea Serpents. Gundam. Here we go. Images. Oh. Of course, it's not showing the actual insignia because that would not be logical, right? Fuck. Yeah, of course not. Why would that? Why would Google show me that? Fucking shit. Anyway, no, so I have not done the Sea Serpents, but that is on my list of things to do. Maybe I can rip that one out and it'll be in the drop for next week. That would be kind of cool. One of the ones that I'm particularly happy with, because it's super simple, but fuck, it hits hard. I have a Hyaku Shiki shirt. Yeah, Hyaku Shiki. And it is on the gold shirt. Excuse me. And it's just the big 100, kanji symbol. And then on the sleeve, it's got the Ayug insignia, and then the model information and everything. And I'm probably gonna break down and order one because it hits like a fucking Mack truck. I love the look of it. It's just really, really nice. So, but yeah, Sea Serpents, I could probably rip that out for next week's drop. Yeah. I'll stow it away up here and get to work on it. Yeah. Yep. Bill says, I don't remember seeing the Sea Serpents logo on the store yet. Yeah, it's not. Todd says, last night I went to try to go to sleep, but ended up being up most of the night. Was sick, but I think it's from not getting enough rest and also from last week. He says, but this month I'm going to be taking some time to myself. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's nice. You need that, Like our friend Edwin, Mr. RSA, right? He was, over the past few streams, he's been talking about what's called sleep debt. And that's basically, the accumulation of lack of sleep, right? You are indebted to yourself hours of sleep. And I'm a big, guilty party on that. And it's rough, man, sometimes. And, when weekends roll around, it's not unheard of for me to sleep, 12, 13, 14 hours one of those nights and just recharge the batteries, So, and that's, now that's, before when I was employed all the time. I'm just guilty of that because my mind is constantly in motion. I've got tasks I got to do. I got ideas that I got to, try to execute. I've got, this, that, and the third, responsibilities, etc. I'm always my mind is always moving. My mind is like a shark, constantly moving forward. So I do have to realize sometimes that it's not healthy to keep going. Sometimes you have to slow down and take a break. and that means to sleep. So yeah, I'm as guilty of anybody on that front. So yeah. Bill says, nice. Do it and feel better. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah. Get some rest, Todd. Get some rest, my guy. Brian says, that's my favorite logo, and the Killer Harpies, Man Can Dream. Those are all on the list of insignia to do. I actually have a book, and it's upstairs in my office, so I'm not going to go grab it right now, but it's an entire book, and it's not a big book, it's a little book, but it's nothing but Gundam insignia, symbology, all of that. And it's where I got the high-res scan for Bill's, the Blue Bone, squad and everything. So, it's a really great book. Very, very useful, for what I do. So, hell yeah. Brian says to Todd, yeah, rest up, man. Everyone needs it. Hell yeah. He says, I know my mother, who's 87, relies on me a lot, and as much as I love her, she needs to understand with what I have been going through, especially with my health. Oh, hell yeah. You gotta set boundaries. You gotta set boundaries. My mom's 77. She's, obviously 10 years younger than yours, but still, you gotta set those boundaries, and you gotta let people know kind of where your limit is. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Excuse me. Let's see. Bill says, you missed my comment on how using a hobby chisel is like pro pinstripe. Oh shit, did I? I'm sorry, Bill. I'm so sorry. Where do... Bill. Shit, did it get filtered out? I think it got filtered out. Fucking YouTube, man. Yeah, no, it did. Hold up. Yeah, no, it did. So Bill says using a chisel is more akin to the artists who do professional pinstriping. Yeah, no, that's absolute. That's absolute. Because it takes a very delicate, slight hand, and then precision. All of it, And, technique is, just like pinstriping, technique is everything. Everything. So, yeah. Andrew says, just sitting here eating some chicken wraps I made with the last safe iceberg lettuce in the state. Ooh, be careful there, Andrew. Be careful. You don't want to end up like that truck video that you sent me last night. Whoo, buddy. And you know what, Andrew? I got to get back to you because I know you sent me some other messages and stuff like that. I just have not gotten a chance to get around to them. I'm sorry about that, but I'll get back to you here after the stream and all. Brian says, Teacher Tim, I try, man. Peter says, are these established lore logos or custom work? A bit of both. It's more, your traditional logos and stuff like that, but then there's the Mecha Decal insignias, which are original. So, yeah, bit of both. And Bill says established. Yeah. Peter says no risk of copyright or trademark infringement if established lore. Japanese companies are famously without humor in that regard. Yeah. With Bandai specifically, they have taken, and it's not an official stance, but an unwritten stance on, their IPs and things like that. They tend to look the other way. And the philosophy there is that it promotes Gundam as a whole and essentially free advertising for them. And I've heard that from several sources. And, official and unofficial. So, yeah, I'm not overly worried. I'm a small fish in a very, very big pond of infringement, if you know what I'm saying. So there's a lot of bigger fish out there than me selling, a few shirts and hoodies and shit. So I'm not too worried about that at this point. So, but, if you get a C and D, then you call it quits, and there's not much you can do about it, right? So, Andrew says, yep, Japan is trying to get the current U.S. government to quit using its game IPs in memes. Well, that's kind of shitty. The U.S. government shouldn't be putting out fucking memes. But here we are. Anyway, moving on. Brian says, yeah, I want to get your shark logo. It does happen. The Sea Serpents logo as a hoodie real soon. It's getting chilly around here. Yeah, dude. I can rip that one out. Yeah. Brian says, sleep is lame. Plastic crack trumps all. Yeah. Andrew says, that's okay, Tim. All good. Word. Let's see. Bill says, Bandai seems to worry more about protecting their IP in Japan since that is where 95% of their attention is at. Yeah, basically that. Yeah. And the other thing, too, is that Bandai, especially inside Japan, they're cool with offering licenses for, smaller, resin houses and things like that, smaller creators to, do like a one-day license for, different conventions and things like that. So, they're usually kind of cool with that. But again, in terms of the stuff that I do and a lot of others, just go on, fucking Redbubble or Etsy or some shit like that and just look up Gundam and forget about it. It's nuts. So they'd be very, very hard pressed to stamp out everyone at this point. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, Brian says, by the way, Tim, what are we working on? The booster packs still? No, we got the Kingfisher packs done. And yeah, I do like the name Kingfisher for these boosters. We got these done the other night, so we're good there. No, what we're working on here, Brian, is the backpack. I think, Brian, you were on last night, right? With the nipples? Ooh. Stop. Bad. Oh. Sweet baby Amuro Jesus. I love that. Geo. Yeah, buddy. If you missed last night's stream, I forget who was it Geo? Or was it... No, I think it was Blaze. Who said something like, sweet baby Amuro Jesus or something like that. And Geo commented that, every time we say, sweet baby Jesus Amuro or something, whatever, there should be the slapping sound as well. I love that. Oh, so yeah, we gotta make sure that it happens every single time. All right, this is gonna look really good. Just gotta make sure that the placement is right. Okay, cool. All right. We got these curved. We're good to go. We need to apply. Now, I don't want to use plastic magic for this, even though that probably would be the better route. We gotta go with super glue. Oh, if I could get the cap off. It's locked into place. I need to get caps. Yeah, I need to get new caps. Anyway, all right. So let's do our best. Oh, that is skirting the line right there. All right, but that'll have to work. All right. So, a little drop. Ooh. Little drop of super glue. It almost came out hot. Shit. Clean the needle off here. There we go. All right. Okay. Let's move quickly, but also methodically. Yeah. Yep. All right, cool. Nice. All right, that looks good. That looks very good. Yeah. That looks straight. Nice. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. All right, cool. Now, let's try to repeat it. Get the crud off of the tweezer jaws there. All right. Oof. Ah, come on, you little son of a bitch. Little bastard. Okay. That should be good. Ooh, that came out hot. That came out hot. Okay. God bless. Yeah, I need a new nozzle. Fuck, I'm gonna have to break down an order. Some. That's annoying. Alright, here we go. Going in. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna need some good cleanup there because that was way too much super glue. All right, we're gonna let that cure. We're gonna get caught up here real quick. And before we do that, I'm gonna take a drink because I'm a little thirsty. A little thirsty. Oh yeah, baby. All right, what time is it? 1:08. Nice. Good time. Good time. Let's see. Andrew says this stream is gonna get demonetized now. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was Blaze. Yeah. Andrew says that, and you need to clean your tip whenever you're done with the bottle. Yeah, see, I do. I always do. But there's always points where it just doesn't work out that way, you know? And with using the purple one the most, I don't know how much I have left in this, but I'm probably through half of this bottle already, where the other two are practically full. It's hard to keep it perfectly clean and everything. That's, you know, another reason why they sell, you know, replacement, caps and tips and all that. So they know you're gonna They know you're gonna fuck it up. So yeah, it just kind of is what it is. So no worries. No worries. Kelvin says, don't forget it was also nipple time Wednesday. Can you say milk does a body good? Jesus, Kelvin. Brian says, everyone don't forget to like the stream. It helps a little with exposure for the streams. Aw, thank you, Brian. Yeah, it does, actually. So I appreciate that. Andrew's got a question.
We have a question.
Let's go. He says, where do you get the bottle with the needle tip for the kicker? Amazon. Good old Amazon. This bottle is actually really cool because the tip is actually changeable. So I gotta be very careful with that. I'm gonna set that off to the side, way out of the way. But these little syringe tips, you can just, these are universal, kind of syringe tips, and you can just bloop, pop them in there, and they're good to go. This one is, I think, the thinnest, and you can see, how thin it is. But yeah, these are great little bottles, because the kicker came in like a spray, like a spritz bottle. And crap just went everywhere, and I hated it, and it wasted way too much product. So with this, I can apply it surgically, for the for lack of a better term. So yeah, I really like these little bottles. I actually have another one here, and yeah, this one has a much larger needle tip to it. You can see all that, but yeah, just Amazon. What are they called? Needle applicators, I think was the term that I looked up, something like that. Trying to find where the other applicators ran off to, but they're probably up in the cabinet somewhere. But yeah, look up like needle applicators, something like that, Andrew. Brian says, did I hear nips? Yeah. Backpack nips. God. These fuckers are be the death of me. Oh, man. Alright, so this is looking good. These are well applied at this point. Very nice. Now, of course, we gotta do a little cleanup here, because especially on this side, the super glue squeezed out like crazy. I'll get this. There we go. I'm gonna bring in the big guns here in terms of cleanup. This is the big old 3mm chisel, and yeah, I just want to make sure that this is completely clean of super glue here. Squeezed out a lot of freaking glue. Bad thing was it came out pretty hot from the bottle. It was way more than I had wanted, but it is what it is. Whew. Now
this cleanup is going to be a little trickier than normal because this isn't, obviously this is a curved surface, not a flat surface. Now the verticals, the vertical cuts that we put in here to clean this up, there's nothing crazy about that, but going in horizontal, it's a bit different. Just kind of do it step by step, really. And just kind of scrape down the surface. There we go. That's not too bad. Yeah. Alright, so now back in here. So that's not too bad. A little bit of squeeze out here on this side. Nothing crazy, not like the other side or the bottom here. So that's a good thing. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right.
So, let's see. That's 0.6. We're gonna get our 1 millimeter here,
And just go to town on the bottom here because we still got a lot of gnarly squeeze out on the bottom of the piece here. It's just killing me. That's actually making quick work out of it. That's pretty good. All right, sweet. Well, that looks infinitely better than it did before. Infinitely better.
all right, cool. So that's perfect.
Now then, let's tackle the other side. The other side's not nearly as bad because we didn't apply as much glue to this particular piece, but a little bit of a glue fingerprint right there we had to take care of. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, that's actually really quite clean. Just a little bit right down at the bottom there. Let's go with the 1 millimeter again and clean that up. But there's minimal minimal cleanup here on this side. Okay. There we go. There's a little point right there that we need to get. And I realize this whole procedure is very unglamorous and not very exciting. Trust me, that is not lost on me here. But at the same time, I feel I do need to express the importance of this particular step. Simply because I see way too many modelers skipping the cleanup aspect of things, the surface prep and all of that, in favor of just putting paint down or, you know, what have you, right? And it just kills me inside, you know, when I see a really, really nicely painted model or, you know, something decaled or anything like that. And it's just like, you just know there were, you know, steps skipped, especially in cleanup and everything. It's just one of my big pet peeves. So that is boring shit, but it is necessary boring shit. So, yeah. All right, let's get caught up. Todd says, finally got my Alpha Blade and primer as well today. Oh shit, Todd, you're getting all the good stuff today. It's like Christmas. Nice. Yeah, and even Pete, he says, nice. Praise the Alpha gods, right? Peter says, reminds me that I have to start saving up so I have sufficient funds when I run amok buying everything not nailed down in the local Tam Tam hobby shop in Sapporo during the next stay. Oh, dude, right? Tam Tam hobby. Oh, Peter, yeah. Tam Tam, I love Tam Tam hobby. They are a hobby store chain in Japan, obviously, and they are like the unsung heroes, in my opinion, of hobby stores over there. You know, you got your big guys, you got your, you know, your stores there in Akihabara, your Bic cameras, your God, I can't remember the name of the other one, but they have a super large store. Your Mandarakes and your Yellow Submarines, all those, those are, everybody goes to those. Those are destination spots. But Yodobashi, thank you, Peter. I for some reason, I couldn't remember the name. But man, you go into a Tam Tam, and what you see in one of those stores is universally different from one of the big guys like Yodobashi, like Bic, like Mandarake, like, what have you. Tam Tam, that's where, like, the OG locals go to shop, and you just feel it in there. Like, I went to one in 2016, and that's when the RE100 Bawu just came out. And
none of the bigger guys had it in stock. It all sold out. I go into a Tam Tam. They had like 3 or 4 on the shelf. And I'm like, oh, yes, please. And it was great. I mean, they had tools, they had decals, they had everything that you could think of. And at really good prices, too. Like, way better prices than the Yotobashis, the Bics, the Mandarakes, obviously. And it just blew my mind. And yeah. To see you mention that, Peter, it warms my little heart. That's good stuff. Yeah. Tam Tam they're legit, man. They're legit. Todd says, I'll try not to cut my fingers off with it. Yeah, don't. It's sharp, man. Let's see. Peter says, I have a bad habit of shopping hobby tools. Oh, same. I love tools. As if you couldn't tell. He says, like my wife shops clothes during a sale because there are no properly stocked hobby shops in my parts of DK. Yeah, Denmark. Dude, yeah. The tools, especially at Tam Tam, good stuff. Such good stuff. Hell yeah. Let's see. Andrew says, I found that I've had significantly less accidents with hobby knives since I switched from X-Acto to Alpha. Yeah. He says, I'd probably still be cutting my fingers if not for finding Tim's live streams back then. Well, see, that's the thing. With it's the difference. It's the blades. It's how the blades are designed. Okay, so here is your standard number 11 blade. This is what everybody uses when they start. This is synonymous, right? Now, if you look at the Alpha blade, it is very different, right? Actually, let's go super zoom so you can see it a little up close. We haven't been on super zoom in a while. But, so there you can just tell the difference in the blade. The X-Acto blade is much longer. It's much sharper in terms of angle. And there's a lot more cutting surface. And because it's longer, there's more flex, especially, you know, at the near the tip and everything. Way more. Now, if you look at the NT cutter blade, it's even more different, right? Look at that. It's so much smaller. It's just kind of crazy, right? So the smaller blades give you so much more control over where the blade is actually going and what it's cutting into, as opposed to the number 11, right? When I found these two, I swore off the number 11 completely, 100%. The only time I used the number 11 is for cutting tape, maybe, or epoxy putty. That's it. I no longer use this knife ever, hardly. So these two are kind of, you know, weapons of choice, so to speak. Now, looking at the angles, yeah, the Alpha is sharper. I think that's probably more of a 30 degree as opposed to the NT Cutter, which is a true 45. Now, the NT Cutter blades do come in 2 separate flavors. They come in the 45, which is actually my main preference, but they also come in a 30 degree angle as well. So that you have both of those to choose from, right? And I think the 30 degree is probably what the Alpha is closest to. Let's see. Here is that. And yeah, that's a 30 degree all day. So yeah, the Alpha is a 30 degree angled blade. where my choice, of NT cutter blades is the 45 degree. They both are really, really good. Don't get me wrong. Just because I'm not using the NT cutter doesn't mean that I've sworn off of it. I use both of these now for specific reasons. If I need to get into, tighter spaces, like, clearing super glue squeeze out and things like that, especially like around in here, I'll go the NT cutter route all day long. For general purpose cutting and things, I do like the Olfa. Like I said last night, what I've found within, kind of the recent weeks from, in terms of switching from one to the other, I find that the NT cutter blades are sharper out of the box than the Olfa blades. Slightly. But I believe that the NT cutter blades become dull at a quicker pace than the Olfa blades. The Olfa blades stay sharper for longer, which I like, because that means that they are safer at that point, because if you happen to cut yourself, you don't want to cut yourself with a dull blade. That is the worst thing you can do, because that more or less rips the skin rather than actually cutting it. So the sharper the blade, the better it will be if you cut yourself. So yeah, I've found myself gravitating toward the Olfa much more here in recent weeks, and it's once again become my knife of choice here for most cutting applications. So yeah. Todd says, Tim, a question.
We have a question.
He says, do you think that the new 1/60th, the perfect grade new Gundam, will ever go down in price in a few years? I doubt it. I doubt that very seriously. No, I don't think so. I mean, it is now the flagship perfect grade. And people are clamoring over it, and once that thing goes out of production, the price will go up without any doubt. I don't think that it'll ever become any cheaper than retail. So yeah, it's not being overproduced. It's selling, which is really good. So I don't think there's lack of demand or anything like that. Yeah, I don't ever see it depreciating in value. If anything, it's just going to go up. So, yeah. Rich James. I'm Rich James, bitch. Funny, I'm looking at hobby tools as we watch here. There we go. Bill says down? Probably up, actually. Yeah. He says it would be different if Bandai made everything all the time, but they produce kits in cycles, so stock never gets to overflow. True. Like one of the things, like when the perfect grade 00 came out, that sold like butt cheeks, and it didn't move a lot. It did not move. So that was one of the rare instances where I think people were doing like sales and clearance, types of promotions and things. But with the new, that is a completely different beast. It is a classic, top 5 Gundam design. Shit, probably top 3, and it ain't 3. So yeah, I don't see that ever going down in price, ever. Yeah. Brian's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, for everyone, what are you guys working on? He says, I currently finished building the second kit for my kit bash and laid down hobby tape to where I'm going to hack it to start combining the two. Oh, let's go. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. I love hearing that someone is, has the balls to just annihilate a model for creativity. I fucking love it. I love it, Brian. That is awesome, dude. Todd says, I'm slowly working on the Kasi Zai Gundam. I don't know how you pronounce. Does anybody know how you pronounce that? Peter, do you know how you pronounce the Zai Kasi XI Gundam? How is that pronounced? I've seen people pronounce it all sorts of different ways. You talk to Zach and he's like, oh no, it's Kasi. Like, really? Is it? Is it? I don't know. I just want to get a second opinion on that. Anyway, Todd says, I'll post a picture on the community page. Word. Peter says, I'm working on the Hasegawa TR5 Harpy Norma from Crusher Joe. I am not familiar with that, but it sounds interesting. Andrew says, I'll be going to finish work on... Oh, no. Anyway, I'll be going to finish work for now on a custom transformer. I need to paint the face yet. It won't be finished until I get the stickers I ordered in. Then I'll be going back to working on my GM team. Word. Andrew says, I need to find a list of unit symbols, though. I want to find an existing one to use like Tim did for his hummingbird and airdrop. Nice. The airdrop is an existing unit symbol. The hummingbird, the Grim Reapers, that was an original insignia that I developed. But yeah, airdrop uses the 67th Tactical Fighter Wing insignia. The Fighting Cocks, and they are stationed in Japan, and I forget where off the top of my head, but they are a currently active tactical fighter wing that exists right now. Yeah, the Fighting Cocks, the 67th, and mind you, that was an unfortunate choice, because the whole 6.7 bullshit came out after, years after, obviously I did it. And, Amber and her friends, when they come over, I have this, big poster of it in my living room, and they're all like, 6.7. I'm like, oh yeah, 8.9, whatever. Little brats, but still. Bill says you can use the X-Acto handle and get either number 16 or 19 blades. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And he's got some links there for folks, too. Todd says, I'm thinking of ordering it next year. There you go. Bill says there are options for blades to use with the X-Acto handles and give you the Olfa-like cutting. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do like the Olfa handles because of the large knurling area here for, I don't know what this technical term is called here, collet screw or something like that. It basically, applies the tension to the blade to hold it in the handle. And I really, really like the quality of plastic that they utilize here. And honestly, the Olfa is the same exact knife as the Tamiya art knife. In fact, art knife, Japan, Olfa. Now, if you were to buy a Tamiya, that would say Tamiya, but it would still have art knife, Japan on it. So, yeah, they do rebranding and all. So, yeah. That or the Kshatriya. Word. Brian says, oof, that's going to be a couple decades until it goes down. There's a ridiculously good inner frame upgrade. Interesting. Bill, answer. My Gunpla project is my Dom. It's pronounced XZ? XZ? I don't know why it isn't spelled XZ. I need to rewatch Hathaway and see if they actually say the name. Edwin, what's going on, buddy? Hopefully you're caught up on your sleep debt. Good to see you, man. Bill says Greek is pronounced Zai. Yeah, like by Chinese is she. He says, I think it is meant to be Greek. Huh. He says, okay. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Greek, obviously from, you know, the other names, you know, in the you know, series and everything. You got your Penelope. You got your, basically, Odysseus, Gundam. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be pronounced Zai, as in the Greek pronunciation. Bill says, I like all metal handles for my hobby knife. There is something to be said for that. Yeah. This old-ass X-Acto handle, I've had for I don't know how long. Honestly, I think this was my mom's handle. We're still on Super Zoom, I'm sorry. But yeah, I've had this handle for decades, and it's been through the ringer and back, and it's just rock solid, and it's got good weight and everything too. So there is something to be said about that. Yeah. Peter says the Gundam to be named RX-105 is officially pronounced Kasai, rhyming with Sai or Sky, with a hard K sound at the front. Kasai. Okay, in English. Okay. Kasai. All right. Well, that's good to know. Brian says my Tamiya 74024 and a fresh blade are ready to cut all night long. Let's go. Bill says, where's that from, Peter? Andrew says the walking war crime variant of the Jagan. Edwin says, I will get the sleep after the stream. If I can't, I rather work on something that does not need too much of my brain. There you go. Fair enough. As long as you're getting your good sleep there, Edwin, that's all we care about, buddy. Peter says, because the name comes from Zai, of the Greek alphabet, official Japanese name is Kusi, okay. Though often contracted in Japanese dialogue as Kushi Gundam, okay. Kasai, yeah. Kasai. I have to remember that. Kasai, okay. Let's see. Andrew says, I find myself wanting to buy another 2 of the Ulfa handles, one for saw blades and one for the Madworks .15 chisel blade I have. Yeah, I mean, I have 2, and you know, I got my chisel blade in one, I got my normal blade in the other, but I could very well have a third one and have the saw blade in another handle. Quite frankly, I could do that all day long. Let's see. In fact, I actually have some other handles in here. What's this? Oh, I didn't even realize I had this one. This one's kind of dope, actually. Look at that. That's a pretty handle right there. And look, it's got the little pointer tip there. Obviously NT cutter. And this is another kind of rebranding for Tamiya, but yeah, NT Cutter. I guess this is what their D400 handle. Nice cap and everything. Yeah, I didn't even know I had that. And the one cool thing about their cap is it has, look at this, it has a ridge there, so it doesn't roll very far. I like that. I like that quite a lot. This used to be my go-to, my go-to hobby handle. Look at the size of this thing compared to your regular Olfa. This thing is dainty, but it holds the same size blades as opposed to the much larger, USA Gundam Store, style handle. This is very, very light. I used to love this, but I don't know why I grew out of it. But it's a great little blade. This is, again, the NT Cutter DS. And I just got this off of Amazon back in the day. Great little handle. And yeah, I mean, I got this one here. Again, this is Olfa. But you got the big ass, X-Acto style handle in that. Rubber grip, which is, actually kind of nice. But yeah, Olfa makes different styles, all sorts of different styles. Now the one thing that I do like from Olfa is this is their retractable knife. This is their NT Cutter Pro A, and retractable, which is really, really nice and sharp. You can break those blades off of there and everything like that too. So actually, it's funny because these are basically the 30-degree blades, but in a breakable tip style, and this is a really, really nice little kind of utility type of handle. Yeah, I got a bunch of different styles in there, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of fun stuff. Anyway, getting back to the chat. Bill says the official Japanese pronunciation spelled out as that and pronounced kusi or kusai. In English, it is pronounced just like the Greek letter, which is xi, rhymes with pi or bi. Let's see. Willis Jackson. What's going on, Willis? Good to see you, buddy. He says, good afternoon, my fellow builders. How's the build coming along today? Not too bad. We've actually been talking a little bit. We've had some really good questions from people and stuff like that, and showing off some different things and all. So it's been a little bit more talky this afternoon, which is not a bad change of pace, but we've gotten some decent work done. We were working on the backpack last night, and we did good stuff there. Today we got these, cover plates installed to cover up some pre-molded details and things like that. But there's the main backpack there, which is coming along really, really quite nicely. So a few more things to do on it, but that's kind of where we are. But yeah, like I said, we're doing a little bit more talking today, which I kind of enjoy. Bill says, this is my favorite. What do we got here? An Amazon link. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Let me show you guys. Yeah, this is good. This is the NT Cutter, but this is their... oh, what is up with the preview there, Amazon? You bastards. But this is an aluminum shaft here with your rubber grip, your knurled, tensioning thing. I don't know, lack of a better term. But yeah, that's a nice one. That's probably a good weight too. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And shit, for $7.05, you can't beat that with a stick. Come on now. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, look, there's that NT Cutter that I was talking about. Look at that, $6.59. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh, and there's the other one. Yeah, $6.19. Even better. Even better. And look, here's the NT Cutter, the full aluminum without that, the rubber bit for $6.40. Holy shit, man. Guys, if you are skimping on your hobby knife, come on, there's no reason. There's no reason. Look at all these good options. All of these. Look, here's the Olfa Art Knife set, 30 blades, needle, tapered handle, stand. What? Comes with a stand? Oh, okay. So this is basically, okay, this is the USAG's style handle that I have. Okay. Yeah. But where's the stand? That's what I want to know. Where is this stand that you speak of? Sweet baby Amuro. But yeah, I mean, you got your blades, you got your handles. There's no reason why you can't pick up a really, really good handle and some good blades, And, if you got problems gripping, I mean, look at this guy, nice, big, hefty, knife blade there. You got your different Olfa blades, everything. Just all sorts of different, and then here we go. Olfa saw and knife art. Spare blades, just the handle, simple, $7. Easy. All day long. All day long. Ooh, that's a bit of expensive. What's that? NT Cutter, Curie Luxury Milled Aluminum. Ooh, yeah. Solid aluminum. That's nice. Yeah. It just... And the X-Acto blade, handles are a little bit more, but not terribly much more expensive, but still, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a really good, high-quality hobby knife and, nice quality blades. There's no reason whatsoever. Look at this, NT Cutter pyramid-shaped blade disposal case with blade snapper. What? Look at this thing. This is... Oh, come on now. Olfa, stop. That is freaking cool as shit. Damn, dude. Olfa, you're killing me. All sorts of other disposal cases and things. Anyway. Yeah, the pyramid. That's great. That's freaking great. Anyway. Good stuff. Let's see. Peter says that spells Kushai Gundam. Or Gundamu if you want to be really Japanese about it. Right? Let's see. Todd says, interesting, Pete. Sorry, forgot to add the final katakana mu. Gandamu. Nice. Todd says, I think I'll be resting all afternoon to make up for last night. There you go. Bill says, think it is called a collar. Probably would make sense, right? Todd says, that's a nice one, Tim. The aluminum handle. Yeah. Swanky! Sorry I'm late, teacher. It's all good, buddy. He says, what's up, everyone? Everybody's saying hi to Swanky. Let's see. Bill says, I just don't like the plastic handles. Yeah. I don't like any flex when I'm using it. Oh, absolutely, dude. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. Let's see. Willis says, I hate it when you're looking at something online and they don't show everything that the description says in it. Oh, yeah, right? Like the one with the stand? Yeah. Yeah, that's annoying. Annoying as shit. Let's see. Bill says, the hobby knife is your most used tool. Absolutely. Spend the $5 to $10 and get the one that suits your hand and style the best. 100%. I don't think there's any reason with these prices that you should skimp on your most used tool. There's just no good reason for it. Yeah. Brian says, now that's a nice shaft. Brian. Edwin says, paint that pyramid gold and I'm sold, right? Dude. That pyramid was freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, excellent then. Why is that's weird. Like the universal chat is all odd. Pronunciation of the USA Gundam in the anime. What? Who did this? Let's see. Patrick C18. Okay, so then let's do this. Let's get learned up here, kids. Here we go. Kasi, okay. Kasisi. Kasisi. So dramatic. Kasisi. Okay. Jesus. Kasisi. Super drama. Kasisi. Swanky says, can we turn the music down a bit, maybe, please? Swanky, what are you, a senior citizen? You damn kids, turn the music down. Maybe on the display I turn it down. That may not be a bad idea now that I think about it. Swanky, I apologize. I take back what I said. You were right. Yes. So, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. What is going on with the chat? It's so weird. Let's see. Bill says you can often go to a dedicated art supply store and try out various hobby knife handles. Then go and buy them online for cheap. Art supply stores overprice them. Yeah, oh, big time. Big time. Swanky says, never mind, haha, I thought you were showing us something. I tried to. I guess it didn't work out very well. My bad. I heard it. I guess you guys didn't hear it, but basically Kasi is how it's pronounced in the anime. It was, it's the Japanese dialogue too. So, Andrew says your audio is going odd when you change your camera views. Well, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Anyway, all right. Oh shit, it's 2 o'clock. All right, cool. So, well, that makes it easy then. We're basically done. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Todd says, "Well, I'm going to rest. I hope everyone has an awesome day." Todd, you too, buddy. You too. Swanky says, "Haha, no worries, Tim." Yeah, my bad. Peter says he pronounces Kushiji, but sounds to Timmy as Kushishi. Kushishi. Kushiji. Got it. It's the Kushi. 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 Hyaku Gundam. The Coochie Gundam. Somebody's gonna take that and run with it. It'd probably be Brian or Blaze. The Coochie Gundam. Fuck me. Why did I even say that? Anyway, Swanky says awesome. Andrew says time to go back the cars out of the garage so I can use my airbrush. There you go. Cushy? Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with the Kasai, like Peter had mentioned before. The Coochie Gundam. Yeah. Mecha Army, let's go. Does the Zai Gundam have a badonkadonk? Oh God! See, here we go. Here we go. It's good. It's a good thing it's 2 o'clock because it's just gonna get way bad. So anyway, all right, you guys. If you joined us after the beginning of the show, let me show you on camera 1 here. If you joined us after the very beginning, over yonder here is my pile of kits to sell and other things. Kits, I have books, magazines, maybe definitely a tool, maybe some others, I don't know, but that'll be coming next week. I had mentioned the past couple of streams that we were going to have a drop tomorrow. I'll postpone that, and we'll have just a gigantic drop next week. So look forward to all of that, right? We got some good stuff back there, some rare stuff. Some original G System kits, some way out of print kits. If you guys are familiar with Yukikaze, the anime with the jets and all of that, fucking dope. I got 2 of those, and they haven't been printed in years, I think, and some other cool stuff. So there's a lot, and I'll get those posted at some point and drop them next week along with some of the new shirts and hats and hoodies and stuff like that too. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, shop.chadamecha.com to get anything currently. Definitely really good stuff. And as always, go get you some because they're the best, right? So yeah, so all that's coming next week. So stay tuned. Real quick, let's see. New Bandai song, Save a Horse, Ride a... No. Bill. Bad Bill. Now repeat after Teacher Tim. Ka-si-si. There you go. Coochie Gundam. Swanky says, I'll definitely get something. Maybe you can steer me in the right direction, Tim. Without a doubt, dude. You got questions, I got answers. So, anyway. All right, kiddos. That's where we're punching the clock for today before the pronunciation gets any more out of hand. Yeah. So, have a wonderful rest of your day. Be safe out there. Build something cool. Stay tuned for the end credits. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Take care, guys. Bye.